Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Spartan Sports Zone. I'm Mike Bello, Assistant Sports Information Director, here with Sports Information Assistant Chandrea Lee.
And we've been away from the desk for a while due to the weather, but we're here today to get you all caught up on NSU athletics. And we'll start things off with women's basketball. Ray Corbo, Rachel Gordon, and Logan Powell each scored in double figures to give NSU a 61-52 victory over the Morgan State Lady Bears on January 18th. The score was tied at 47 with 3 minutes left to play in the second half, and the Spartans used a 14-5 run, which included 10 points from the free throw line, to overtake Morgan State in the final minutes of the game. NSU shot a season-high 78.6% from the free throw line on the afternoon. Gordon made 12 free throws, while Corbo added 10. Following the victory over Morgan State, the Spartans headed down south to Orangeburg, South Carolina, to take on the South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs on January 25th. Corbo posted 17 points, while Gordon added 14 points and 16 rebounds to lift NSU over South Carolina State 59-54. And now taking a look at the MEAC standings, the Spartans now sit at 9-10 overall, including a 5-3 mark in conference play. Hampton is number 1 in the MEAC with a 9-0 record, Coppin State, which is 7-2, and North Carolina A&T sitting at 6-2, round out the top 3 teams in conference play. And Mike, just seeing the growth of the team from last season when the Spartans went 7-22 and 4-12 in MEAC play to this season, NSU certainly has the ingredients to finish off on a high note.
Yeah, it's been really impressive of how Coach Clark has really been able to turn the program around from last season to this season.
And up next for the women's team is a trip to Baltimore, Maryland this Saturday to face Morgan State. Game time is at 2 p.m. at the Talmadge Hill Fieldhouse. And then the Spartans will then return home to face Howard on Monday night at Joseph Eccles Hall. Tip-off is at 6 p.m.
Spartan men's basketball now stands 6-2 in MEAC play on the year and tied for second in the league standings after having last weekend off from MEAC competition. NSU did get away from the snow last weekend, but a loss at Miami in the last non-conference game of the year dropped the Spartans' record to 12-10 overall. Prior to that trip, NSU faced South Carolina State and Savannah State on the road, falling to the Bulldogs but rebounding to defeat the Tigers on ESPNU 56-49. Spartans saw their nation-leading 23-game conference win streak come to an end with a loss at Morgan State at home on January 18th. But NSU responded by taking down Coppin State 2 days later at Joseph Eccles Hall, 83-71. Senior Malcolm Hawkins scored 22 points in the win over Coppin State and added 16 points in the victory over Savannah State. Fellow senior Pendarvis Williams led the Spartans with 21 points at Miami and added 17 against Coppin State. A third senior, Brandon Good, came up big in a loss at SC State, finishing with a double-double of 19 points and 10 boards. With a week off in between games, NSU was able to regroup before heading to Morgan State this Saturday and returning home to take on Howard on Monday.
The tennis programs were also in action during our break. The women's team opened the season with a 7-0 loss at Old Dominion on January 18th. The Spartans will hit the road this weekend for a pair of matches against North Carolina A&T and Elon. The men's team lost its second straight match of the season, falling to Old Dominion 6-1 on January 26th. Sophomore Samuel Limberger picked up NSU's only win in singles play, defeating ODU's Keon Wigemans at the number 5 position. The men's team also hits the road this weekend to face UNC Asheville and Elon. Coming up after the break, we'll get to know our Spartans, recap the results for track and field and bowling, as well as find out who was selected as our top performers of the week.
Secure your future by getting a top-notch education only at Norfolk State University. With world-class faculty and facilities, a bustling campus life, and highly regarded programs in the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology in the School of Business, Norfolk State is one of Virginia's leaders in higher education. Founded in 1935 as a beacon of hope to the region's youth, more than 78 years later, the university remains a source of inspiration for those in the Hampton Roads region and beyond who aspire to fulfill their dreams. A military-friendly school in one of the largest military areas of the world, Norfolk State University is home to faculty researchers who have forged partnerships that have created cutting-edge virtual learning environments. With more than 30,000 alumni, Norfolk State has played a vital role in our community in the past and is serving in a critical role today, and will continue to be an academic leader in the future. Find out more at nsu.edu. Norfolk State University, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back to the Spartan Sports Zone. Every week we put the spotlight on 2 of our student athletes to see how well they know each other outside of practice and competition. This week we headed to the basketball court to put members of the women's team against each other in this week's edition of Know Your Fellow Spartan.
Welcome to this week's edition of Know Your Fellow Spartan. I'm Chandrea Lee, your host, and here with me I have juniors Quenisha Leonard and Jasmine Gray from the women's basketball team. And we'll start with you, Q. Who do you think Jazz talks to on the phone the most?
I'm gonna go with her mom.
Who's your mom?
Got it.
1 point for you, Q. I hope y'all didn't cheat.
No,
we didn't cheat.
I know her now.
Jazz, who does Q talk to on the phone the most?
I'm gonna go with her mom as well.
Your mom? Let's go! Next question. We'll start with you, Jazz. What's the best prank that Q's pulled on your teammates or on Coach Clark or Coach Gordon or any of the other coaches?
Well, let's see. This past weekend, we all as a team hid in our coach's room, and we had like kind of a little pillow fight when they walked in. So I'm gonna go with that.
The pillow fight? Hid in the coach's room and jumped them with pillows. Q, what's the best prank that you guys pulled on your teammates or your coaches?
Since we were all in there together, I'm going to go with the same answer.
Yeah.
Same answer? Pillow fight. Now, can you talk a little bit about that pillow fight, how it went down?
Well, you know, it was all my idea. Now, we were coming back from dinner, and the coaches had stayed behind, so we all like got together and we were like, yo, let's ask the front desk for a key. So we got a key and we went into that room and we waited for like 10 minutes for them to walk in, and we got them good.
Yeah, we got them real good.
Did you guys have to run laps for that?
Nah, not this time.
To see the full episode of Know Your Fellow Spartan, visit our YouTube page at youtube.com/NSU Athletics.
The track and field teams were in action, picking up a few wins. On the women's side, Tori Cunningham won the 60-meter dash at the Joe Hilton Invitational, hosted by UNC Chapel Hill. Tiara Davis cleared a height of 10 feet and 3.5 inches to win the pole vault event at the Hampton Invitational. Also worth noting is the second place finish for Champagne Bell in the long jump at the Hokie Invitational, hosted by Virginia Tech. On the men's side, sophomore Jonathan Anderson won the shot put event at the Hampton Invitational. Both the men and the women will compete at the Christopher Newport Vince Brown Invitational this Saturday.
The bowling team has also been in action recently with an up and down stretch over the last few weeks. The Spartans did receive strong performances from freshman Nicole Rivera-Santiago and senior Thea Aspiris. Rivera-Santiago was named the MEAC Bowler of the Week after averaging 195.8 and helping NSU go 9-4 at the Lady Bulldog Classic. Aspiris, meanwhile, was named MVP of the Kutztown Invitational a week later, averaging 222.8 to top all bowlers at the tournament. Aspiris again finished above 200 last weekend at the Prairie View A&M Invitational. The Spartans will have some time off before heading to the MEAC Southern Divisional March 1st through the 2nd.
It is now time to reveal our top 3 performances from the past few weeks. Coming in at number 3 is senior jumper Champagne Bell. She finished second in the long jump at the Hokie Invitational. Her leap of 18 feet, 9.75 inches, currently ranks 5th in the MEAC. Our number 2 performer is senior forward Rachel Gordon. She had 5 straight double-doubles at one point, including 14 points and 16 rebounds against Morgan State. She is now only 51 rebounds away from the all-time program leader at NSU. And our top performer is senior bowler Thea Aspiris. She was named MVP of the Kutztown Invitational in late January, finishing with the highest average of the tournament at 222.8. She topped all bowlers from the 14 ranked teams that competed. And that will wrap up this week's edition of the Spartan Sports Zone. As always, we'd like to thank the Department of Video and Media Productions and Chantel Copes for all their help. I'm Chandrea Lee.
I'm Mike Bello. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.